We're live on YouTube.
All right, you should mute yourself. Oh. I'll just wait for her to finish up and then we'll start from there.
Jacob, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I'd asked a question earlier and nobody responded, so I thought maybe you guys weren't able to hear me.
Okay, good test. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 5 p.m. If we can begin with roll call. Ms. Sarah Turner.
Present.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Present and willing.
Okay. Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Present.
Okay, and I'm present, Jacob Sandoval, and Ella is not here today. So if we can please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a motion to approve the board agenda?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Mr. Patel seconds. Okay. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Sorry. Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, so moving on to 2.0, that's the list of closed session items that we'll be reviewing today, which is 2.1, potential litigation, 2.2, personnel actions, and 2.3, conference with labor negotiations. Do we have any public comments for closed session items, Nicole?
Not at this time.
Okay, so then we'll move on.
I forwarded the ones that I had. So
Okay.
Those are for later. Yep.
okay.
Perfect. Okay, so no comments, public comments for closed session. Can I get a motion to adjourn to closed session?
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
Ms. Turner motions. Can I get a second? I'll second. Roll call,
Okay,
please.
roll call. Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Yes.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, everybody see everybody in closed session. We have a few minutes.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Does Andrew have a son named Ethan?
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't sure who that was.
Yeah, that's the son. He's trying to get into that one, probably?
Yes.
Okay. Well, wait for him to get in. Okay. Well, we reconvene back into open session. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to the public as well that's watching. We do have 2 items to report, 2 exciting items that we voted on as a board. The first one is we voted to appoint Donna Koenig as Director of Curriculum and Instruction effective July 1st, 2021, which we're extremely excited to on her promotion. It's a little sad that she's leaving Government View, but excited for what she's going to bring into our side. Is she here now to introduce her, or do you want to do it after we present both votes?
I invited her during my director report.
Okay, no worries. And the second, which is equally as exciting, we started a new director position as well. And we voted 4-0 to appoint Dr. Summer Prather Smith as Director of Parents and Family Engagement effective July 1st, 2021. And the motion also passed 4-0. So those are 2 exciting things that we're looking forward to bring to the district and into the community and the students as well. So now we move on To approval of consent agenda. And it looks like we're doing each item individually, Melissa?
No, for our consent agenda, we'll do the approval of the consent, the minutes, the warrants, and then there are personnel actions. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the clarification. So we'll move on to 5.1, approval of consent agenda. If I can please get a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, Ms. Turner motions. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Patel seconds. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. Now we move on to 5.2, approval of minutes. If there's any questions, or if not, I can get a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
A second. Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to 5.3, approval of warrants. If there's any questions, and if not, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay, Ms. Turner motions. Second, please.
Second.
Mr. Patel seconds. Roll call.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. Now we move on to item 5.4, personnel action appointments and resignations. If there's any questions or comments, if not, if I can get a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, Ms. Turner motions. Second, please.
Second.
Patel seconds. Roll call.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Now we move on to 6.0, reports, information, and correspondence. We'll start off with SRTA.
I have SRTA's message.
Okay, can you please read, Nicole?
Good evening, trustees. It has been wonderful doing enrichment activities with our students this week in the afternoon. Teachers have enjoyed seeing students in person and are surprised with how much they've grown. Students have been engaged and having fun. Everyone seems happy to be back. Please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like to visit a classroom virtually or in person. I have a list of teachers who would love to host your visit. Now we look forward to the next step in this journey, planning Summer Academy. Also look forward to hearing the plan for school in August from our state and local government. Kate Stover, SRTA President.
Thank you, Ms. Stover, and it's exciting to hear that things are kind of moving along and everybody's kind of excited to get a little back of normalcy. Is there anybody here from CSEA?
I have a message from CSEA as well. Good evening, everyone. CSEA would like to thank the board members for their extraordinary dedication to our community and our children during these difficult times. CSEA also would like to thank our Superintendent Melissa Alderman and her staff for all the planning and preparation to make in-person learning happen in such a short time. Special thanks to all the Santa Rita Union School District staff, such as kitchen, MOT, paraprofessional aides, school clerks, health aides, and our wonderful administrators and teachers for all their diligent and hard work. We appreciate all that you do. Truly, CSEA Chapter 503, Vice President Juana Casillas.
Thank you, Ms. Casillas, and it's exciting to hear that awesome district that we have and all the staff that's kind of working hard for our students. Is there a principal spotlight today? No.
Not for tonight.
Okay, not tonight. Okay, so move on to 6.4, Superintendent's Cabinet. Start off with nutritional services. I don't think I see Chuck here.
Chuck isn't with us
Yeah,
tonight.
okay. Okay, so MOT.
Well, tonight I don't have very much to announce or say, but I just want to publicly thank my departments of maintenance, transportation, and grounds for a phenomenal job just getting it done. We got our A cohort in, and we successfully, didn't lose any kids. I mean, that's great, right? So everything went pretty smooth. We're looking forward till tomorrow, and we're going to get our B cohorts in. And again, kudos to all my team.
Thank you, Victor. Is there any questions or comments from the board?
Just a thank you, because I remember from facilities committee meeting, just all the, you guys were talking about the last minute work of organizing things, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. No other questions or comments. We'll move forward. So we'll move on to student services.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's been an exciting week and so much fun. And we had the opportunity on Monday, Becky and Melissa and myself did a little run around the district, which we haven't done in so long. We visited every school site, and it was just such a wonderful feeling to see colleagues that I haven't seen in months in person at all, or even on video, and walking onto the campuses to see groups of kids and employees happy to be back. I can't even begin to describe the feeling of relief and moving forward that was felt, and the fact that every single site reported back to us that it went as smooth as glass. Any little hiccups were small and manageable and easy to address. And I can't wait to get back to my old professional life of being on school sites and engaging with families and students on the campus, because it's what I love and probably what I think that I'm best at. So I'm happy to report that we had an excellent little mini tour around to all of our school sites, and just seeing preschoolers, I mean, that really does hit it for you, right? So I took a little walk back there and got to talk to some of our preschoolers, our students that were there. But it was wonderful, and our principals and our site leadership did an incredible job organizing this first day. I will not deny, it was stressful leading up to it, but all of the work that came together and culminated in this amazing little soft reopen was really a great feeling. So that is my report tonight. For once, something very joyous and happy, and a sense of moving forward with our school community and getting our kids back where they belong.
Thank you, Nadine, and I appreciate your words and your description. It kind of almost makes me feel like I was there as well, seeing everything happen. So, is there any questions or comments for the board?
I have a brief comment. Nadine, well, first of all, thank you for your report, as always, and providing us insight as far as what's going on. Melissa, I always believe in this idea of having district administrators being at site levels, and visiting and making sure they're at the front line, so whatever you can do to consistently encourage admin staff at the district office to actually visit sites and create that better relationship. I work at at another district, and it seems that the visits are not that frequent, and so I'm glad to hear this, and I hope we can grow upon it, and I'm glad that we're welcoming our families back, and people are checking things out to make sure things are going smoothly and handling any hiccups that happen along the way. But I would like to see this continue. I would like to see that connection, that bond between district and sites, so thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board? No. I want to say thank you, Neil, for sharing that as well. I think sometimes it helps us reconnect to know that, at the end of the day, we do this for the students. So I think it just being able to see them and kind of see what's going on there is important. So move on to human resource.
Thank you. I am excited to introduce to you tonight our two new directors who will begin with us July 1st. So first, I will introduce Dr. Summer Prather-Smith, appointed as Director of Parent and Family Engagement.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you. I'm so excited to be here this evening. I'd like to just share a little bit, and if it's okay to help the translator, I'll do the first part of my introduction in Spanish so that we give the translator a little break. So, mesa directiva, personal, padres de familia y comunidad de Santa Rita. Me gustaría agradecerles por la oportunidad de servir como directora de participación de padres y familias. Perdón, estoy un poquito emocionada. Es un honor de regresar al distrito donde asistí como estudiante y también trabajé como maestra de servicios especiales y generales. Estoy emocionada de tener la oportunidad de abrir el nuevo centro de recursos familiares y también trabajar con los distritos para formar planes de participación de familias que incluye los esfuerzos de cada familia. Las familias son los primeros maestros de los estudiantes y es solo en colaboración con ellos que nos podemos mejorar el aprendizaje de los estudiantes del distrito. Nuevamente, muchísimas gracias por esta oportunidad y espero trabajar en colaboración con cada uno de ustedes. Again, thank you. Sorry, I'm a little bit emotional. It's one of those things where you feel like you're coming back home. And so to see all the faces and kind of have that reality hit is a little bit emotional. So Santa Rita board, staff, parents, and community, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity you've given me to serve as the Director of Parent and Family Engagement here in this district. It's an honor to return to the district where I attended as a student, where I taught as a general and special education teacher as well. I'm excited to have the opportunity to open the new Family Resource Center and to work with each of our schools and leaders to form family engagement plans that are built on the strengths of each family within our district. We know that families are the first teachers for their children, and it's only in collaboration with our families that we're going to improve the learning outcomes for our students. So again, I just want to thank you for this opportunity, and I really look forward to working in collaboration with each of you here, as well as each of you joining this meeting today from our community. So thank you so much. And now let me take a breath and let my emotion, if there's any questions.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Summer, and thank you for sharing your words, especially in Spanish. I heard a lot of great words as far as you're saying collaboration and the parents and stuff. So I'm excited to see what you can do, and welcome to our district, and welcome back in a way, because you mentioned you
yes.
and stuff. Yeah, so definitely.
Yes, no, I'm so excited to be back. Like I said, it's interesting how it kind of hits you, that moment of like, whoo, you're heading back home.
That's awesome. Any other questions or comments from the board?
Well, you know I do, Diego, so I'm just going to step right on in. Dr. Prather-Smith, first of all, welcome to Santa Rita District. I'm sorry, welcome back.
Thank you.
Having said that, these are challenging times. Our parents, our communities have suffered through the pandemic, through various social, economic, language barrier issues. I mean, this is a challenging job, and it's something that this district has chosen to take the challenge upon, and create a position and dedicate funding. But our issue was no amount of planning or anything really makes as much of a difference as who you bring in.
Great.
And the fact that you are part of this district from the beginning, and the fact that you've proven yourself out there in the county level, I'm just so grateful that we have somebody of your expertise, coming back to help get us through these difficult times. This is new for us, Family Resource Center, providing outreach, and if there ever was a time where, we have the ability to address it, now it is. So thank you for taking this role. It will be challenging, but good people come when we have difficult situations, and you've stepped up. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. And I'm up for the challenge. There's nothing I like more than a good challenge.
I just wanted to add my welcome and welcome back to Santa Rita. And we are absolutely delighted to have you. And we're super excited about this new direction that we're taking.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. I too am very excited to come back. I don't think it's completely hit me yet. As we move forward, it'll become more real.
Yes, I'd like to echo my fellow board members' welcome. I'm really excited because everything you said, I truly believe in it. And by helping our families be successful, our students will be successful as well. So I'm excited to have you on board, and I'm excited for the direction that our district is going with your position in the Family Resource Center. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandoval. And I look forward to your continued support here with Bygrid Ed still. Even though I may not be in the seat, I know you've supported us with many items in the past, and I hope that continues.
Actually, that was me.
Oh, sorry. Did I say, sorry, dear.
Yeah, it's
Sorry
okay.
so much. It was one of those.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, Andrew, you can keep helping us. You can join your brother.
Absolutely.
That's okay, Summer. I get them confused all the time. You know, I'm going to start giving them numbers, number 1 and 2.
Yeah, they just join together as one.
Right. Well, thank you, Summer. I'm next going to introduce our new Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Donna Koenig.
Good evening, Board President Sandoval and board members, cabinet, and audience. I am very much looking forward to stepping into this role as Director of Curriculum and Instruction. It's been an amazing ride as the principal of Gavilan View. The Gavilan View family is strong, and their capacity within is strong, and this is a great time to transition into this role and be able to support the district and the other sites, the other site principals, the other site teachers and staff into the transition as we go back from remote learning to in-person learning, and all the big exciting things that are about to happen, and working with Summer, and that's exciting news to hear, and just working as a team collaboratively throughout the whole entire district as we have been all year, and moving forward together, and working with our amazing site principals and admin and cabinet and staff. So all of the district, I'm excited to support and work with our principals and teachers across the board. So very exciting, and I'm humbled. I don't have the speech that Summer gave, but I'm looking forward to work with Summer as well. I've known her for a while now, so it'll be a great addition as well. So congratulations as well, Summer.
I want to say thank you as well. I'm excited that what you're going to do for our district. You've already done amazing things at the Gavilan View, so I think you're going to be an awesome addition to the district team. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to say good evening, Mrs. Koenig. I receive very often phone calls with recorded messages from Mrs. Koenig. So welcome to your new position. And I hope we're still going to be getting some of those reminders. You've done such a great job with the LCAP engagement, and I'm truly appreciative of that. I think that engagement is the key to our district's success. So, a heartfelt welcome and congratulations. And I just appreciate you a lot, because I appreciate your love and your character for the students and the families, which I have had the opportunity to witness firsthand. So congratulations and welcome to your new position.
Thank you, and I'm humbled, and I appreciate that. I will announce that we have a LCAP meeting tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
I just wanted to add my congratulations, and I'm so grateful for the job that you've done at GV. I have had GV staff approach me, like when I'm at Safeway, coming up to me and telling me, I have to stop you, Ms. Turner, and tell you how much I love my job. And you created a climate that allowed them to have that experience. And I'm really excited about the new opportunity that you're going to have at the district level.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm going to add on to what Sarah said, and now we're going to have the opposite problem of having GV staff coming up and telling us, why'd you take her from us? Why? Anyway, having said that, Ms. Koenig, a few years ago, you joined our district, and there were challenging times at Gavilan View, which Ms. Turner mentioned. We had a turnover there, and you really came in, and the one thing you really did was you brought people together, around this idea of family and learning and including everybody. So I think trial by fire sometimes creates the best candidate sometimes, and the fact that you've given so much already to this district and we can hire from within, you know, it's like an investment to me, you know, an investment that just keeps giving back and back and back, you know. So, you know, if people are going to be dedicating their lives to any district, I hope it's ours, you know. And so thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a great district to work for, and I'm very happy and honored.
Okay, thank you very much. Becky, is there any?
Just the other thing that I wanted to report is that Melissa and I have been working together with CSEA to begin negotiations for the 2020-2021 school year, so for this current school year. And we're looking forward to continuing our work with our CSEA chapter. That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Becky. Any questions or comments from the board? No. Okay, so we'll move on to board and superintendent. We'll start off with board reports, and we'll go in the order that the agenda has it. We'll start off with myself. The only thing I have to report was I met with the board policy review committee to kind of go over the policies we'll go in today. And me and Melissa did have a brief conversation about potentially having in-person board meeting. So hopefully in May, when we talk about the future board meetings, that's also a possibility now that we're in a little bit safer tier. And that's all I have to report from my board report. Elva's not here today, so we'll move on to Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Good evening. Well, first off, I'd like to start off by thanking Victor from the MOT director for giving me a tour of our new Family Resource Center, some school classrooms at La Jolla and Bolsa Knolls. I had the opportunity to meet some of the amazing staff, like the nurse at Santa Rita, met with Mr. Hermosillo, and I had the opportunity to hear the plan to help parents and students during their return to in-person learning. I had an opportunity to meet Jose in food service and got to tour their facilities, Maria in Chuck's department, Victor's admin assistant, Ana Vasquez, that helps keep the wheels turning at MOT. It was also great to meet with some of our hardworking staff like Jesus and Laura in our food service and learn about some of the opportunities that the district has given, like cross-training to fill some of the much needed positions in our transportation. I also learned from our janitor, Omar, how they're keeping our students safe and sanitizing classrooms and different facilities. And I also got to meet a very hardworking janitor, Maria from Bolsa Knolls. And I'm just glad we have such dedicated staff like her. I also got to meet Steve Campbell for maintenance, dispatcher we have filling in, Declan, who was very enthusiastically working on some scheduling. It was also great to hear from various departments that they enjoy working for the district and enjoy the family atmosphere that we have. I'd also like to thank Kate Stover for her constant communication. And I also look forward to visiting the schools and classrooms in the upcoming weeks. And then at this time, I'd also like to say a very special thank you to a retired employee, Ray Torres, a retired bus driver, maintenance worker, custodian for the Santa Rita School District. He started at Santa Rita in January 1987 and retired in January 2011. I've been told he loved working for the district and working with so many wonderful people. He also enjoyed driving the school bus filled with Santa Rita district students. Ray also served as a volunteer firefighter. So to Ray and his family, on behalf of the district and the thousands of students that you help transport and keep safe, I want to say thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and your service to your community. And thank you for being part of the Santa Rita District family.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate the words, and thank you, Ray Torres, as well for your commitment, not only just to our district but to the larger community. It shows that you were a true leader in the community. So thank you. We can move on to Mr. Neil Patel.
Well, tough back to follow. Well, once again, my hats off and major thoughts and prayers to the family of Mr. Torres. You know, this last couple of weeks, I've spent a lot of time talking to teachers and parents regarding the reopening of schools. And believe me, I've heard a lot. Having said that, I am very pleased with how our district has been implementing hybrid scheduling. You know, well, I look to three entities always. I look to parents, I look to teachers and staff, and I look at students. And when I talk to parents, parents were happy with the schedule because they didn't have to have two different time points, having kids dropped off in the morning or afternoon. They like the idea of having one consistent time to be able to drop off all their kids, you know, in the afternoons, which made it convenient for them. I'm glad our district also kept the option of keeping DL learning for those parents who didn't feel comfortable or safe enough to return their children to school. So I think the options that were provided um, were basically addressing the needs of our community. Regarding the teachers, you know, I've talked to a number of teachers and there was major concerns about, hey, how are we going to teach students online and at the same time when they come? So this really resolved a lot of fear for the teachers in terms of letting them continue with the planning and curriculum they've already started on and worked so hard on for many, many months, and to let them to finish the year that way. But at the same time, bringing in those students, I personally stood by New Republic and on the first day and see those students coming out, going in, you know, it was beautiful. You know, teachers, students, parents together again, you know, and so once again, I think our district, even though we do things are you know, differently sometimes, you know, we serve the needs of our community, you know, regardless of how other people do it. So, you know, once again, I want to thank, and there's one more group I want to thank, and that especially the classified staff and admin who are on campuses every day and teachers, because the cleanliness, the PPE, the rigor in terms of making sure people are checked is top notch. You know, what can I say? So I think this district has really taken safety as a major concern, while at the same time bringing in students, you know, for those who want to come back. So I think we're really reaching a good point for this transition. My other comment has to do with John Gutierrez, so I'll mention that later, you know, and I just want to welcome everyone back, and I'm excited for our summer programs that are coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Patel. Ms. Turner?
I just want to again say thank you for all the amazing work that's happening with facilities. So thank you, Mr. Sandoval. I've just, it's weird to say that I'm really enjoying being on the facilities committee, but I really am, because I'm just grateful every time that we meet that good decisions are happening for the future of our district. I want to say thank you to everybody for the incredible hard work that I know went into the reopening this week. I'm just really grateful. And then I wanted to specifically recognize Amy Lopez, Melissa's assistant, because she's just been amazing. Every time I've called her, she's always resolved whatever it was. And if I did it wrong, she nicely explained to me what I did wrong. So that's been really helpful. And I'm just been really impressed by her kindness and her professionalism.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Turner. We'll go on to superintendent's report.
Thank you. So tonight for my report, I actually will be sharing a video put together by Mrs. Krista Satterstrom at Bolson Middle School that I wanted to share with the board, and it'll be leading into our later item about our resolution for Don Gutierrez, and wanted to give some of the Bolson staff a chance to share their thoughts with the board. So that'll be my board report tonight. Nicole, we can't hear it.
Give me just a minute to figure out what's going on here.
Spencer. I'm the principal at Polson Knowles, and I just want to say that Mr. Gutierrez was my friend and co-worker, but he was also my coach and my mentor, and he taught me so many important things about running the school and about the culture of the school, and how important it is to do the right things for the students and the staff, and how important it is to foster a positive attitude and collaboration among the school community. So he will be very sadly missed, and I just want to say what a huge impact he had on me and on my career. And I think that naming the school after him is just a wonderful tribute.
Hi, my name is Carol Jensen, and I am the secretary at Polson Knowles Middle School. I completely support the idea of changing the name of Polson Knowles Middle School to John Gutierrez Middle School. I worked side by side with John for almost 30 years in the Santa Rita Union School District. I saw him come in as a brand new teacher at Gavilan View and thrive in the classroom, and then as the assistant principal, he worked hard to learn how to be a great administrator. When he moved to principal, his energy and passion for his job was evident, and he always had the best interests of students and staff in mind. John was well respected by students, staff, parents, and community members. No job was beneath him. When we came to Polson Knowles in 2010, we had very little staff, and Mr. Gutierrez would step in to help keep the campus clean. He would also clean restrooms at our annual wrestling tournament so that we didn't have to pay out extra money, and all the funds received could go directly to our clubs and sports program. You could see him daily picking up garbage in front of our parking lot or pulling weeds as he greeted students to and from campus. He took pride in his school, and his students saw him taking care of it and would want to do the same. I strongly support our school name being changed to John Gutierrez Middle School. Nothing else would do justice to such a selfless, respected man who gave so much of his life to create a school that everyone wanted to be a part of. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Leslie Ucho, and I am the school clerk here at Polson Knowles Middle School. I just want to say a few words on behalf of Mr. Gutierrez. First of all, it's kind of hard to keep this brief as to why John Gutierrez deserves to have his name on our school, because there's so much to say. Having worked with him over the past 10 years, he's shown through his words and his actions how dedicated he was to our students, staff, and this school. He took pride and ownership of it all. No task was beneath him, and he approached the good and the bad with fairness, respect, grace, and dignity. Wherever he was needed, he was there, from pulling weeds, mowing the grass, cleaning restrooms, scraping gum, being a coach, a teacher, the yearbook advisor, a referee. He did it all, and he was at every after-school event and wouldn't leave until every student was picked up. He gave up every spring break to be with our students at our Washington, D.C. trip. He was always visible and present. Mr. Gutierrez grew up in Salinas, and for over the past 30 years, he dedicated his entire educational career to the Santa Rita Union School District. He is recognized throughout our community by generations of families and many educational leaders as a dedicated and capable leader. This is reflected in his award for Middle School Principal of the Year in 2019. I could go on, but in keeping this short, just letting you know, I still run into people, and they always reflect on what an amazing principal and person Mr. Gutierrez was, and they express how they would love to see our school renamed after him. So thank you for considering this in honor of Mr. Gutierrez.
Well, all I can say is what a great idea, naming Polson Knowles Middle School after John Gutierrez. I think that is awesome. It is awesome. It's a great way to recognize him as a person, recognize his accomplishments, recognize his commitment, and recognize the incredible things that he has done for our school. And in real life, anybody that knows Polson Knowles knows John Gutierrez. And anybody that knows John Gutierrez knows Polson Knowles. I mean, they're really one in the same. He was here the day one of our school, and was here ever since the very opening day of our school. He's the first on campus, last to leave. He had a presence. Every single passing period, he was out on the grounds before school started, putting up the flags. After school, saying goodbye to each and every kid as they walked across the street, helping them get over through the crosswalk. Just a tremendous person, so many different things, and I can't say enough. But what I can tell you is that he was loved by the community. He was loved by the parents. And if he wasn't loved, at least he was respected. That's for darn sure, because the community and parents and students and staff, he led by example. He led by example. He had really high standards. He had real high expectations. And he expected a lot of each and every one of us and his students. And just a tremendous individual. And I can't think of a better way to pay tribute to him and to honor our school and to honor our community, because he certainly was an important part of both. And I will love John Gutierrez every day, and I will think of him every day that I come to work. Thank you.
Hey guys, Jordan Stockdale. I'm 6th grade PE over here at BK. And the question that came to me was whether the school should be named after Mr. Gutierrez. And hands down, no question it should. Everywhere you look around here, it's Mr. Gutierrez. You know, every weed that's on the floor that he's ever picked is Mr. Gutierrez. Myself and Mr. Carrillo, you know, we're here not just for school hours, but probably 5 or 6 hours after school during sporting events. And there's not been one time that Mr. G left early for any sporting event. He was here just as many hours as anybody I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, there's no better man I've ever met in my life. So if you were to ask me, hands down, no question, this school should be named John J. Gutierrez Middle School. It has a good ring to it, too.
Well, I absolutely think it's the logical decision to name this school after him. I've worked with Mr. Gutierrez for over 20 years, and I thought he would be my last principal into my golden years of retirement, because #leadership goals. I will remember how he would sign us off on the weekends on saying on Friday afternoons, be kind to your parents. Thought that was a great message. Oh, I hope that this school board will do their research and make an informed decision, because it's the logical thing to name this school in his honor and with his legacy. And couldn't have been prouder to work under him as an administrator. Thank you.
To keep the school clean and looking beautiful every day.
Yeah, why the school should be named after Mr. Gutierrez. I worked with him since GV, and Mr. Gutierrez, he was teacher, then he became vice principal, and then I still remember the day that they decided that he was going to be principal, and all the staff, they just cheered it on, because we wanted Mr. Gutierrez, because we knew him. He was from GV, he knew the kids, he knew the teachers, he knew how everything worked. Wanted to open up BK, because this was his baby. And I guess that was the plan, that this was going to be his baby, and that he was going to run it the way that he was going to, wanted to run it. And it's been his ever since. He's done everything, crossing guard, picking the weeds, blacktop supervising, checking the fences, mowing lawns, fixing sprinklers, doing the sports, all the sports, he'd always be there. Beach trip. His big goal was always the kids. It was always the kids. Kids were number one. He had the teachers' backs, but kids were always number one. And he would take the kids to get ice cream, student of the months and things like that. He would take the what do they call the ones that you guys have? I can't remember their names, but he would take them out to go shopping to buy the things that they needed for school. So it was always the kids were first. That was always the thing about Mr. Gutierrez. This was his school. Everybody knows that. This was his school. Every little inch of it. He was everywhere. Not like some person just sitting in the office, not dealing with the papers. No, he did that stuff too, of course, because he had to, but it was about the kids. It was all about the kids. So there's no point in naming a part of the school. You have to name the whole school after Mr. Gutierrez, because it's in the genetics of the school. It's Mr. Gutierrez, okay? So that's the bottom line. He is BK, and BK should be Mr. Gutierrez, John Gutierrez Middle School.
And I would love to see that. I believe that that's such a great honor, and he'll be forever a part of our community in this area. And I believe that we should move forward with that and he'll be in our thoughts, and we'll see his name every day, which would bring a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Mr. Gutierrez, the first person on campus and the last one to leave. There was no task that was too big enough for him, and there was also no task that was too small for him. He did it all. He pulled out weeds. He was a crosswalk person. He was the security during our basketball games. He was a person who was basically the DJ at our school. He walked around with his microphone, making sure students felt safe, felt comfortable. There was always music, good feeling music on our campus. He made sure students never forgot a thing because he was always reminding them. He was out, he was present. He was present in classrooms. He always encouraged his teachers to be better. I also remember one time that he said, you know, wow, after 20 plus years, I'm still here. And he knocked on wood. And the way he said it really impacted me because he didn't say it with bitterness. He didn't say it complaining. He said it with passion still in his eyes, with love for the job and for our community. He was always excited to be on campus, to better the education of our students and our community. We're here and we have the responsibility to honor him for all of his work, for being an educator that never complained, that never got tired of doing good. And that is why I believe we should rename our school to honor him for all of his work throughout the years.
He loves Bolsonaro as well as all of the students. He took care of the school, staff, and the students. He made us a family. Naming Bolsonaro after him would be a tribute to his memory and all of his much appreciated hard work.
He really did give his heart and his soul to this school and to the students of this school and the district. And I think it would be appropriate, and the least we can do is to have this school with his name.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Gutierrez, and I'm a 7th grader at BK. I've known Mr. Gutierrez since I was born. He's a very good principal and a good person in many ways because he's very kind, caring. He always made it feel like we were going to like a second family, and he was always just really kind and a fun person to be around. He'll always be missed and loved.
I think we should name the campus after Mr. G to honor his legacy. He was always the first on campus, the last on campus, greeted everybody on their way in and their way out. And with his name on the campus, it's like he'll always be doing that. He'll always be first on campus and last on campus.
So he will be missed, and I think naming the school after him, it should be a good memory for all of us and for the upcoming students.
I'm excited about the school being named after Mr. Gutierrez because I feel like he deserves it. And of all the years that I work with him, I would always see him out there with the students, and he was so involved. I had never seen that before with any other principal. And I felt like he really cared about his students. I just feel like Mr. Gutierrez was such a big part of Bolsonaro Middle School. And I know all of his students that went through here every year, and all of the staff that has worked with him or worked with him in the past. We're all gonna miss him. And I think that this school definitely needs to have his name.
Thank you. Our Bolsonaro staff really wanted to share that with you and the students involved. And I want to thank Mrs. Krista Satterstrom one more time for that.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Is there anything else to report on your side before we move on? Okay.
Not this evening, thank you.
Thank you for the staff and for the students for the videos. Truly inspirational. I guess no words to say. It's kind of just very impactful. Does the board have any comments or questions before we move on?
Thank you to the entire staff and students. You know, I really appreciate it.
I'd like to just say thank you for that, and I witnessed firsthand his dedication and passion for the students and the teachers. So thank you, staff, and all who took time to create that.
Okay, thank you. So we move on to item 7.0, public comment. I think there was one other additional one. Let me see.
There is one, Jacob.
Okay. Do you mind reading that?
Actually,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying, do you mind reading it if you have it handy?
Yeah, I can do that. So this one actually came in last time after public comment, and it came in again tonight. So it says, "Dear ladies and gentlemen of the board, hello. As a teacher and resident of the Santa Rita School District, I had a question, if I may. Since Monterey County has moved to the orange shire, I was wondering if there had been any discussion as to resuming in-person school board meetings. Sorry for bothering you, and I hope this question does not seem intrusive. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Danny Crouch, La Jolla School."
Okay. Thank you for the public comment, and the public should never feel like they're bothering us giving their input. So we always appreciate your feedback. So always feel free, whether you're a teacher, staff, or community member or parent, to always give us your input and comments, because we do appreciate that to understand what's going on. So, and we kind of did briefly mention that. So moving on to 8.0 and moving to 8.1.
So I'll report for 8.1. This is a renewal of our contract with Edie Bailey Financial Consultant. They assist us annually with closing the books.
Does the board have any questions or comments regarding the item? Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
A motion.
I second.
I think Ms. Turner seconded that, yeah. Roll call, please.
Ms. Turner? Mr. Andrew Sandoval?
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel?
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Diego Sandoval?
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Sarah, I think your mic's a little bit low. Let me see.
I've been having trouble, so if you guys can't hear me,
Okay,
please.
perfect. That's better. That's better. Okay, just to make sure we can hear you if you have questions or anything else that kind of comes up. Okay, moving on to 9.1.
So I'll actually talk about 9.1. I generated this item, but it falls under human resources. So this is an updated job description for Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. And this job description overlays the duties of Assistant Superintendent onto the traditional job of Director of Human Resources. So it incorporates the original job description of our Director of HR with those additional duties that an Assistant Superintendent role would take on.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Any questions or comments on the item from the board? Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Ms. Belchel seconds. So roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner? Mr. Neil Patel?
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval?
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval?
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, move on to 9.2, approval points of Becky as Assistant Superintendent.
Okay. I will present this one as well. As I have refilled my position not at the Assistant Superintendent level, but rather the Director of Curriculum Instruction level, I am requesting the board consider Appointment of Becky Moore as Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, which will allow for those continuity of duties in the event that I'm out or shared responsibility in some of our district level areas that are needed.
Okay. First, I want to say it's awesome that any one of our directors has the capabilities and could do this job in an awesome basis, but Becky is also an awesome choice to lead us. So I'm also excited about that. Any questions or comments from the board?
I wholeheartedly agree. I know I mentioned earlier with our principal, Ms. Koenig, that she came in during challenging times. I think the same can be said for Ms. Becky Moore. I think it was challenging. I'm so happy we're able to steal her from Salinas High, and so I'm glad she chose Santa Rita. But more importantly, I think she has really, fitted really well into this family, and she's taking charge and increasing her her role. And the thing I appreciate about this district is we do a lot of cross training, a lot of supporting each other. So in case somebody's out, somebody else can step in and take over and run things. So once again, I'm very supportive of this. And Ms. Moore, I'm just very pleased that you're able to grow into this position and create it for what it is. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Well, just really quick, I just want to thank you for your responsiveness to all my questions, and I appreciate your continued work towards making our district more efficient and making some much needed adjustments to make us more effective. Thank you.
Okay. No other questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve?
Show motion.
Motion. Mr. Patel, can I get a second? I'll second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner. Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0. Congratulations, Becky Moore.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have the next item. So our next item, 9.3, is to approve the amendment to our MOU with SRTA regarding the reopening of schools for COVID-19. And we just made some updates based on current circumstances now that we're in the orange tier and to address our reopening of school that took place this Monday.
Does the board have any questions or comments regarding 9.3?
I'm just so appreciative of the fact that our teachers and our district have worked so well together during this transition. So when I saw this, I was appreciative. I'm glad we're moving forward and transitioning. So thank you, to everyone involved.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve 9.3?
I make a motion to approve 9.3.
Okay. Can I get a second?
I believe Sarah seconded.
Yeah, Ms. Sarah. Okay. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner. Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, Becky, you have another one at 9.4?
I do. 9.4 is another memorandum of understanding between the district and SRTA regarding the extension of health and welfare benefits through June 30th. This addresses our calendar adjustment with the school year ending in May instead of in June. It provides just a little bit of additional coverage for any teachers who are retiring or leaving the district.
Okay, thank you. And I think this is really important because it shows that we take care of our employees, even if they decide to retire or leave the district. So, any other questions or comments from the board? Can I get a motion to approve?
A motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Patel seconds. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, so we're on 9.5, also Becky's.
9.5 is an agreement between our district and CSEA, Chapter 503, for the reclassification of clerical positions within the classified family. So this will address administrative assistants, bilingual administrative assistants, food services clerk 2, and school office clerks, increasing their range in order to make our positions more competitive and on scale with other local districts.
Okay, thank you, Becky. Any questions or comments?
I just want to go, I'm absolutely in favor of this. I think I've said this from the beginning since I've taken on this role as Board of Trustees. I expect our district to be competitive, whether it be certificated, classified, or admin. We have the best people and they should be paid competitively. So I totally appreciate this and thank you for working on this to make it competitive with the rest of the districts.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Patel. Any other?
And I just want to say I also echo Mr. Patel, and as we work to address all the other positions and just to let our staff know that we value you, and especially being able to take the tour recently and meet some of you and see the hard work. We want to make sure that we're being competitive and honor your work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sandoval. Can I get a motion to approve 9.5?
I make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second? I second. Roll call, please.
Sarah Turner, Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. We move on to 9.6. Becky?
9.6 is a request to approve Resolution 21.04.06, recognizing Teacher Appreciation Week next week, May 3rd through May 7th. I believe that Sarah was going to read this, but with her volume issue, I'll let all of you work that out.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Mr. Patel, are you able to read the resolution? Because unfortunately, I'm having sound issues.
Oh, you're on mute.
Give me 1 second. It's loading up on my computer. It's a doc, so give me 1 second. It's loading up. Wait until it load up.
Yeah, I'm having trouble loading on my end too.
Okay, here we go. National teach. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, here we go. Santa Rita Union School District Board Resolution 21.04.06 in recognition of National Teacher Appreciation Week from May 3rd through the 7th, 2021. Whereas teachers personify our society's belief that universal public education is key to meeting the challenges of a changing world, and whereas teachers strive to make every classroom an exciting environment where productive and useful learning can take place, and each student is encouraged to grow and develop. And whereas teachers reach out to foster the well-being of each student, regardless of ability, social or economic background, race or ethnic origin or religion, and whereas teachers motivate individual students to find new directions in life and reach high levels of achievement. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Santa Rita Union School District Governing Board of Education does hereby urge all citizens and schools to observe May 3rd through May 7th, 2021 as National Teacher Appreciation Week by taking time to remember and salute the teachers who mold and educate our children, impact and enrich our lives, and thereby are critical to the constant transformation of our society. Passed and adopted on this 20th day of April 2021 by the Board of Trustees of Santa Rita Union School District.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. I think the word that stood out at the very end was critical, and that's what I think the teachers often are.
Jacob, can I get a minute just to talk about this really quick?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, as a teacher, as well as other board members who are teachers, I think we have a unique perspective, but I will say this to the teachers of Santa Rita District. 1 year ago, when this pandemic occurred, you were asked to do things that no other teachers have done in living memory. And the fact that at that time, the entire US sat there and said major positive things of how great teachers are, of how much you are valued. And then yet, no less than 1 year later, some of us have become scapegoats to the public and saying, why don't we go back? Why are we not for educating our students? And all I have to say about this, I don't know, this pendulum that always occurs in education is this: my fellow educators, we don't do it for them. We do it for the students. We always have and always will. And so to you great teachers out there, I say, regardless of what the public has to say, we know every day what we are worth. We know what we do. And we know the impact we make on our communities and the entire world. So for these reasons, I say to the Santa Rita Union School Districts, keep your head up high. You are professionals. You are welcomed. You are admired. You are revered in this district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patel, for your words. Any other questions or comments?
I just echo Mr. Patel's words and thank you for all your dedication to our students.
Can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Okay, can I get a second? I second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, teachers. Moving on to 9.7.
The next item similarly is a request to approve resolution 21.04.07 to recognize Classified Appreciation Week, which is May 16th through May 22nd. And the resolution is attached for, I believe, Andrew Sandoval to read into the record.
Yes, thank you very much. And as I read this, I just, would like to say I personally appreciate all of the work our staff is doing, and I witnessed it firsthand. Not just the hard work, but the passion for what they're doing and their dedication and their willingness to go above and beyond. So thank you for that. It says, whereas the legislature of the state of California has declared that a full week of each May shall be Classified Employee Week, a time to recognize the many contributions of classified school employees to public education. And whereas classified school employees have served the state of California and its children for many generations and have played important roles in the furtherance of the goals of public education. And whereas classified school employees deserve rightful recognition, public celebration for their caring, their deeds, and their incalculable contributions that they have made to California's public education system. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Santa Rita Union School District Governing Board of Education does hereby encourage all citizens of Salinas to observe Classified Employee Week during the time of May 16th through May 22nd, 2021, as an opportunity to acknowledge the achievements and the contributions of classified school employees in our school district. Passed and adopted this 20th day of April 2021 by the Board of Trustees, Santa Rita Union School District.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sandoval, and thank you for all the classified staff out there. Can I get any comments or questions from the board? No, can I get a motion? Go ahead.
I would be amiss not to say a few words, obviously. First of all, I said this at a school site meeting the other day, but I'm going to repeat it again here. And there have been staff members who, when others were at home, distant learning, etc., we had members of our staff, who risked their lives. Let me just say it, to feed our community, feed our children, and as well as secretary staff to make sure plans are implemented, custodial staff, etc. And so, you know, and when you look at the number of people who have been affected, who got infected, who had medical issues, who possibly even died, you know, this group was the most highly affected, you know, but by these circumstances. So for me, when I think of CSEA, you know, this idea of essential workers, frontline workers, you know, this is the heart and soul of our district, you know. So my heart and my support, and every year, you know, I am in awe of the fact that we have so many people coming together to educate our young ones from our community. So it takes a village, they say, right? And in this case, all of our village members have to be appreciated, all right? Especially the ones who are there for the toughest times. And that is our CSEA.
Thank you, Ms. Patel, for your words. Any other comments from the board? Can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Can I get a second? Ms. Turner seconds. So roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Move on to student services, item 10.1 for Nadine.
Thank you. Tonight we are going to review the March updates for our board policy, and we are going to look at this as a second reading. We pulled together and met with the policy review committee. We did that last week. That committee consisted of myself, Superintendent Alderman, Andrew Sandoval, and Jacob Sandoval. And then we reviewed the current updates, reviewed the options, applied them to what currently exists for our board policy, and then selected the recommendations, and then bringing it to the board this evening with the recommendations from that committee. So what you see in front of you this evening on the service checklist are the options that have been chosen and selected by the policy review committee. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Nadine. Any questions from the board or comments? No. And thank you for taking the time to meet with us as well and kind of walk through it well. It's greatly appreciated.
Absolutely, okay. You're welcome.
Can I get a motion to approve?
To approve.
Turner motions. Can I get a second?
Second.
Ms. Patel seconds. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Move on to administration 12.1.
This is a renewal of our MOU that we began with our service corps, our preschool service corps, part of AmeriCorps, where they send members out to tutor and work with our preschoolers. And so we wanted to keep that going. And so it's been very beneficial having that just sort of additional support. And this will hopefully help us in the upcoming year with our preschoolers.
Yeah, I apologize. I think I skipped that one. I moved on to, but.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was 11.1.
11.1, yeah, that's the correct one. I missed myself. Okay, any questions from the board or comments?
I love it. We need more partnership.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Ms. Turner motions. A second, please.
Second.
I'll second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. Now we move on to 12.1.
This is our draft that was sent to us after our Good Beginnings workshop that we worked on our governance handbook for Santa Rita. And so we're going to present it as a first read in case there's anything that, as you look through it, we needed to adjust or edit, or you noticed any errors.
Okay, thank you. I did read through it. I didn't see anything else that I wanted to add unless the board had any questions or comments or changes they wanted to make, so that way we can approve it at the next board meeting. But I also want to thank everybody for being part of that process. I think it's going to help us to become more efficient and work as a team.
I want to say thank you because I think we finally, in written form, clarified what happens with new board members, the information they get, how they get trained, meeting with the CBS. So I'm glad that it's down on paper so it can be continued long after we finish our positions.
Yeah, I agree. Upon reviewing it, I mean, I think it's going to be a great tool, and some of my highlights I just want to share. It says, as a governance team, we will keep our focus on the best interests of our students, respectfully listen to the ideas of others, respect differences, and we will show respect, never dismiss or devalue others. So I just think it's a great step. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion? Oh, I'm sorry, it's a first reading. It's a first reading, so we'll get it approved at the following one. Okay, so move on to 12.2.
For 12.2, I'm presenting a resolution in recognition and celebration of our colleague and our friend, Mr. John Gutierrez, and his contributions to the Santa Rita Union School District. I have asked Mr. Neil Patel if he would read this resolution into the record.
Thank you so much. What can I say? This is going to be difficult. Today I'm wearing purple, and the reason I'm wearing purple because there's only one man who makes purple look good, and that is John Gutierrez. All right, if he's the only person I know that would bleed purple way more than anybody here in Salinas. The school colors of Bolsono's. My heart goes out to the family, the community, the family he grew up with, the family that he raised himself, all the students and staff that have experienced and met him over 30 years. I work with his sister and brother at my school, and my own kids have been educated by Mr. Gutierrez, at schools. My family members have been through. So this was very personal. He was a friend, still is a friend. And regarding the renaming of the school, before I read the resolution, there were a lot of questions from people. Why? Why are you changing this? Why are you changing the school to the name of John Gutierrez? And my answer to them is, why not? Whenever I think of school names, I think of people who, for most part, had nothing to do with the community in which the school is or is located. We name them after senators, presidents, political figures, what have you. And that's okay. I support it. But here's the thing. We have people who give their lives, dedicate their lives, teachers and staff. These are people who dedicate decades, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years of their lives into one institution, one building, with the hope of educating others. And so when this idea of renaming the school to John Gutierrez, my question is not why. My question is, why the hell not? Where have we been? So for me, this does proper justice. I want to thank the entire board and community for coming out and actually asking for this and creating a grassroots campaign to rename the school. So it is a privilege and honor to read this resolution, and I will do so right now. Thank you. Santa Rita Union School District, Resolution 21.04.05, renaming Bolsono's Middle School in the honor of John Gutierrez. Whereas the Santa Rita Union Elementary School District and their broader community lost a valued leader, colleague, family member, and friend on October 18th of the year 2020 with the death of John Gutierrez. Whereas Mr. Gutierrez served the Santa Rita Union Elementary School District for over 29 years as a teacher and then administrator. Whereas Bolsono's Middle School opened with John Gutierrez as the founding principal in August 2010. Whereas he inspired countless students to excel and strive to meet their goals through his own experiences in education and in dreaming big, as he would call it. Whereas Mr. Gutierrez was an enthusiastic and dedicated education professional and community engagement advocate. Whereas Mr. Gutierrez was awarded the 2019 ACSA Middle School Principal of the Year for Region 10 of California. Whereas Mr. Gutierrez embodied a sense of civic duty and pride, as evidenced by his legacy of traveling with students year after year to our nation's capital. Whereas Mr. Gutierrez's knowledge, kindness, and energy enriched those fortunate enough to know him and especially work with him. Whereas he was much loved and respected by his family, friends, colleagues, community, and many students. And of course, whereas his sense of humor and booming voice will resonate in our memories and hearts. Whereas his true legacy lies in the profound effect he had on those who knew him, those he mentored, and those he taught throughout his career. Whereas Santa Rita Union School District Board Policy 7310 authorizes the governing board to name school districts and other facilities in recognition of various people, individuals, living or deceased, entities that have made outstanding contributions, including financial contributions to the school community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Santa Rita Union Elementary School District, on behalf of its members and learning community, recognizes the significant contributions of John Joseph Gutierrez over the course of his dedicated career and honor his memory. Be it further resolved, in honor and celebration of John Gutierrez's life and service, the Board of Trustees and the Santa Rita Union Elementary School District determines that Bolsono's Middle School shall be rededicated as John Gutierrez Middle School. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Patel, for reading that. Any questions or comments from the board?
I just wanted to thank everybody who contacted us, everybody who served on the committee. I wanted to thank the authors of the resolution, because some of John's enthusiasm and his joy came across to me every time I read it. And I will never forget his booming voice. I will never forget his enthusiasm for every person that he met. And I'm very excited about doing this, because to me, our job as adults is to teach kids that we're put on this earth to help people. And John had a strong sense of that, and he gave a sense of that to other people.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. I appreciate your words, especially mentioning that we are put on here to do what we can to help others. And I think that was echoed by him every time that I saw him. So.
Yeah, I just would like to say that I remember being in middle school when Mr. Gutierrez was an ELD teacher, and just remembering his presence and you know, just his enthusiasm, and to see him later become the principal at my daughter's school, and just to see his dedication to the students and his approach to issues that came up, whether it be dress code for some students. I just remember sitting in a cafecito with him and some parents saying, well, how do you determine the proper length of shorts? And he said, you know, at the end of the day, the goal is to definitely address it, but to keep the kids learning. And whatever issue came up, his focus was, we got to make sure that this isn't taken away from their learning time. And I remember sitting in his office when he started to take over the DLAC, and his enthusiasm to start that process, and just his approach and the respect, and from what I hear, his support of the teachers, helping them further their education and become those teachers and inspire them. I think that campus, of course, you heard everybody say he picked up the trash and pulled the weeds. It was the cleanest campus I've ever seen, okay? And you know, that's only one little aspect of it, but it just showed how much he loved that campus. And sure enough, I live around there, and I would see his vehicle there, you know, in the morning and the last one out. Every sports game he would attend, he would be there. He'd be cleaning the court, whether it be coaching or cleaning the court or greeting people. I just think that this is a good thing for our district to honor a man like that. And I remember when we were getting the DLAC going, he goes, "I'm going to invite an expert over to help us." And then sure enough, it was his big sister, Mrs. Torres. And I thought, you know, just from a perspective of older brother, you know, younger brother or younger sister, to have your big sister come in and tell you how to make sure you do it, you know, I think took a lot. And she sure said, "This is how you should do it." But it just showed that he wanted the best for his families and his students. So I just appreciate everybody who put the time into this, and I'm honored to be on the board as we take this step forward to rename the school after him.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sandoval. Can I get a motion to approve?
So motion.
Okay, Mr. Patel motions. Can I get a second, please? Second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Sarah Turner. Mr. Neil Patel.
It is my duty and honor to vote yes in a bittersweet moment.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Yes.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody in the community as well. And thank you, Mr. Gutierrez, as well. Sorry. Okay. Next board meeting we had set up for May 12th. I'm not sure if the board and most of the things about targeting that meeting or the following meeting to try to see if we can do it in person. I don't know what everybody's kind of thoughts are on that.
I would be open to meeting, you know, and start opening it up. I also have another agenda item too, but for that one, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Do you have a preferred school site that we have this first meeting at? As you know, we don't have our new boardroom available at this time. So we can certainly work with our school sites to schedule it in one of their libraries.
I'm okay with either, any of them.
Perhaps Gavilan View, their library is the largest.
Okay, we'll do Gavilan View then. And then then we also kind of wanted to bring up as far as having our board retreat for our goals. I think Melissa had thrown out
I did. So any dates really. After school, we could do morning or afternoon after the end of the school year, but I put out Saturdays, a couple of Saturdays, a couple of Wednesdays, and then certainly whatever works for you all so that we can have a goal setting workshop.
Okay. So what I think might be a good approach is if you guys want to maybe email Melissa which one you guys prefer, and then we'll kind of figure it out together.
That'll work.
Yeah, thank you. And then any future board items?
So, my understanding is we will have some type of public acknowledgement of the renaming of the school with the site and stuff. It's upcoming sometime.
Yes, in May. So I wanted to wait until we had our resolution. I'm working with Victor to at least change out one of our two signs. One may take longer. The company is out of Texas, but to go ahead and change our front sign at Bolsono's for the event, looking at an evening event, perhaps starting at the neighboring church for those who would like to have that type of service, and then convening back at Bolsono's for those who may not want to participate in that one optional piece. And then opening up our campus and having an event where we can have some people speak about their memories about John and really celebrate his contributions and the fact that we are rededicating this school in his honor as we move forward. Sort of a chance for our learning community to heal. It's been a rough year, and then losing John so early was pretty devastating for our learning community, and we haven't had much chance to gather together to sort of mourn and celebrate our lost colleague and friend. So I will keep you posted, and we'll be reaching out to you as well with potential scheduled items that we can put together for our community.
I would also appreciate, John was very big on local government, state government, federal government. You know, he always had the awards and the recognition. So whatever we could do to notify and ask Assemblyman Rivas for our state, Panetta for our federal, because he did always take our students to Washington, you know. And of course, he was a big supporter of our local government, so our local mayor and city council. I would really appreciate that. You know?
I've also reached out to Mr. Tim Ryan and Dr. Deningas as well. They have an interest in attending and also honoring John.
Okay, thank you. Any other future board items?
For the first meeting in May, just an update about what we're doing for graduation. And sometimes we've not had that second meeting in May because it's been graduation week.
Okay.
So just a decision about whether we're, you know, as
Okay.
what's happening or not.
I'll be sure to give an update on that, and I'll also have an update on Summer Academy activities for that first meeting in May.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to that, Ms. Alderman, with the great ideas for summer. I really am.
Okay, thank you, everybody. If there's nothing else, can I get a motion to adjourn at 7:29?
Motion to adjourn.
I get a second?
I second.
Okay, can I roll call, please?
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel,
In the name of John Gutierrez, for this meeting only, I say yes.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Ms. Ariano isn't present. Motion passes 4-0. And I want to give my heartfelt thank to Mr. Patel for reading that resolution for me. Thank you.
Okay.
First of all, I want to thank the entire board. You know, this board is always comes together. You know, we find consensus one way or the other, you know, and so for me, reading it was difficult, but it was the work of everyone here. You know, I want to say thank you to the entire staff and my fellow board members. You know, these are difficult times. I can't imagine handling it any better with any other group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, everybody, take care and stay safe.